I would like to introduce somebody to tell you about an upcoming conference. Now, I think all of us attend many conferences around the world, and it's a very rare global conference that is held on an exciting subject in a wonderful part of the world, in a wonderful time of the year, with wonderful organizers and potential participants. One becomes a bit suspicious about conferences like this. But to tell us about precisely such a conference to be held next year in Bordeaux in August, I'd like to invite Professor Guido Sunneman from the University of Bordeaux to outline this conference. Guido, for those of you who don't know him, was one of the founding fathers in the United Nations Environment Programme on the life cycle initiatives, led that work, helped set up, envisioned and set up the International Resources Panel. Please join me in welcoming Professor Guido Sunneman.
Thank you so much for this nice introduction, and I hope really that we will have the same weather than we had this year in September, so then it's really a really nice place to be. So while we get ready, so the conference will be organized on life cycle management. So, and life cycle management is really here on how to bring it into practice. So here we meet actually with the avniR conference. And so that's why we also already last year joined forces with avniR to have a really big event in France in 2015, and to make it even also trans-Atlantic, we have engaged the big research center on life cycle assessment, CIREC, to work with us and also with their industry behind. And we have now an organizing committee that not only includes us from the public sector, but also the companies Nestle, Solvay, and Airbus that at the same time sponsors of the event. And we also have the support of the two regions from here, Nord-Pas-de-Calais, and from Aquitaine. So I think we have a good, really, event where the public and private sector can meet to discuss with academics on the topic of life cycle management. Normally this conference is about 500, 600 people. And in Berlin, there were, from the private sector, 49%. So we will see how much we were able to get to for Bordeaux. So the topic is about mainstreaming, and I will come back to this on my last slide, and about sustainable value creation. And we will also address the topic of shared value creation, what is now also discussed as one of the perhaps issues on the new business models, what you might discuss later. So the event will not be in this place of the Bourse that you had seen. There will be the social event, but here at the convention center, where now finally you can go also by the tram. And here you have the individuals of the organizing committee. I would just to highlight Professor Manuel Amani from CIREC, and also Naim Adibi here from avniR, with whom we have worked here together, and then you have other members from the business side and others from our institutions. We are then having here already been able to get some finance in place to well prepare the conference. So not only from the Platinum Storm, that's the regions that I would like to thank a lot, from Nord-Pas-de-Calais and Aquitaine, but also consultants and industry. And then on the silver sponsors, we already mentioned, part of them are part of our organizing committee, as I indicated, and then we have supported also from technical centers and also LABEX in Bordeaux, and finally the national networks on eco-design and LCS, GoLC and EcoSD. So we had a call for sessions, and this call for sessions, we got 80 or 85 session proposals for 32 places. So this was quite a headache, and of course a nice headache, but we needed to bring this down, and so we organized our work in 4 themes. I'm not going now into the different sessions here, but one will focus strongly, and I hope that with the conference in Bordeaux we will able to bring, inspired by what has been done here in the Aquitaine, in the region Nord-Pas-de-Calais, sorry for this mistake, in this topic of how actually regions are bringing LCM to the industrial clusters, and I think there you have a lot of to share with the global community. And so this will be one major element, and also the question we had yesterday on what's going on the French government and the European Commission side, how to bring life cycle thinking into policies and the data you need behind. The second topic, and for me this is really the core of life cycle management, is then how to bring it in business practice. And I think you will hear a bit of this now from Stefan Morel, who will share the one session here on this partnership approach with BASF and also in the LCM conference. And then we will focus on sectors so that people can meet around different subjects, sectors on the best practice in the area, and trying to engage in this way a lot of really professionals in the area. And finally, there will be also discussion on methods, because this is of course also needed, and also industry uses these methods and helps develop them. So, but it's not the core of this. And we will also, for example, discuss the topic of avoided emissions, what is the hot topic, and we will invite people from the World Business Council and World Resource Institute to talk with us about it. So we have started to give a tentative program that we don't know if it will really work like this. It starts on Monday morning and starts Sunday evening already with wine and cheese, but then official program Monday morning with the hot topic of mainstreaming, and then collaboration and communication, followed by the parallel session the next day, really focusing on business perspectives. And the last day, and here the link also to what we will now discuss, about strengthening the transition to a circular economy, as a closing session similar to here, also at the LCM conference. So from here, you will the call of abstract is sort of open, but it's not yet functional. We will put the conf-tool system in place so that you by 16th of January you can submit your papers, and we will also identify our keynote speakers. And we will have a book jointly with the conference, an LCA compendium on LCM. And we will then get back to you when there will be the deadline for early bird registration, and so on and so on. I will not take much more time. I would like just to highlight that an issue that we will try to address on the way to the conference at the LCM is what we have identified with Jim Favres, whom I'm leading the PMO, the Project Management Office of the UNEP Life Cycle Initiative. We have identified some unmet needs that we are actually not able to address currently in the way we work in the third phase of the Life Cycle Initiative, because everything should be embedded in communication and stakeholder outreach. But we are limited in the way we are currently working, and we have identified that industry stakeholders are looking for global consistency, predictability, and certainty to be able to trust in the longevity of policies and management requirements. So how do we get there? And we have also seen, and I've discussed with several people here during the conference also, how we bring out the life cycle methodology out of this need. So how we create more global awareness on the life cycle approaches and principles. And we have seen that they are from a global perspective that I have worked in as introduced. There is no global voice to support this application of life cycle approaches, both in government and industry policy. So we see this need for this huge professional communication and stakeholder outreach. And we will get back to you and see how towards Bordeaux or with the conference we could make a difference in this area. And I think also this area of circular economy could give a space, how to evolve. With this, again, I would like to invite you also on behalf of the organizing committee to join us in Bordeaux next year. Here, your website where you find more information. Thank you.